Sturgeon throws tantrum at BBC's journalist Laura Kuenssberg over Scottish independence poll result. Nicola Sturgeon has erupted at the BBC's Laura Kuenssberg after being confronted on waning support for Scottish independence. The Scottish First Minister snapped after Laura Kuenssberg pointed out polling figures suggest support for Scottish independence was fading. The BBC's political editor confronted Nicola Sturgeon with the reality that Scotland was pretty stubbornly divided on the issue of independence. Ms Kuenssberg told the Scottish First Minister, "When it comes to the question of independence isn't the truth of it, you're a bit stuck. The country is pretty stubbornly divided, pretty much 50-50 on this. Polling suggests the enthusiasm for independence has actually faded." Ms Sturgeon replied, "Not, it doesn't." Ms Kuenssberg replied, "It has fallen back. The average over the last 6 months is 3% gap, it's always roughly 50-50. Ms Sturgeon said, "Occasionally, the polls are slightly above 50%. Occasionally, though, they're slightly below 50%. Asked if she ever worried that she had missed the moment on independence, the Scottish First Minister replied, "No." Ms Sturgeon refused to speculate on her future after Ms Kuenssberg asked the SNP leader if she planned to one day retire from frontline politics. The First Minister replied, "It is almost as if my opponents have concluded they can't beat me or remove me from office themselves. So they're kind of crossing their fingers and hoping that I'll remove myself from office. But they are going to be really disappointed because I'm going to be around a lot longer." The SNP leader added, "Given how many Tory and Labour leaders have come and go, and in my time as First Minister, perhaps a lot longer than them, and a lot longer than they may wish me to be. I was elected 7 months ago, having asked people in Scotland to put their trust in me for a 5-year term as First Minister. They gave me that trust and they re-elected me. We face serious times as a country and I intend to fulfil that mandate." The Scottish First Minister later snapped after Ms Kuenssberg pointed out polling figures suggest support for Scottish independence was fading. The BBC's political editor confronted the SNP leader with the reality that Scotland was pretty stubbornly divided on the issue of independence. Ms Kuenssberg told the Scottish First Minister, "When it comes to the question of independence isn't the truth of it, you're a bit stuck. The country is pretty stubbornly divided, pretty much 50-50 on this." Ms Kuenssberg pressed, "Will you serve the full 5 terms?" "I intend to fulfill that mandate," repeated Ms Sturgeon. Polling suggests the enthusiasm for independence has actually faded. Ms Sturgeon replied, "Not, it doesn't." Ms Kuenssberg replied, "It has fallen back. The average over the last 6 months is 3% gap, it's always roughly 50-50. On other news about Ms Kuenssberg. Kuenssberg's expected departure after 6 years as political editor is yet to be confirmed. Various details, including a potential role on Radio 4's Today programme, are still being worked out as part of a broad reshuffle of on-air BBC presenters. Yet her time in the job shows the enormous challenges that come with being the BBC's political editor in an era when the nature and purpose of Westminster journalism is changing. There is more scrutiny of how political coverage works in the UK and whether it should work like it currently does, than ever before. When the former Downing Street aide Dominic Cummings said Kuenssberg was the only reporter he spoke to regularly because of the broadcaster's special position in shaping the news agenda, he was stating something that seemed obvious to him. In a previous era, being the only reporter with access to Downing Street would be a massive boon for a political editor. Yet nowadays such access can be seen instead as a potential liability when trying to build trust with audiences. Kuenssberg also showed there can be a big difference between feeding the traditional BBC news machine, through radio broadcasts, television news packages and the articles on the BBC's website, and the urge felt by most journalists to reach new audiences on social media. She first became a household name with her constant presence on the BBC's rolling news channel during the 2010 general election and her use of a then-new social network called Twitter. Her decision to provide insider updates to her 60,000 followers, considered a highly impressive number at the time, was considered an innovation.